Hi everybody! It's been a while since I last reviewed a Harry Potter game on this channel, but I'm back to doing one that's a direct tie-in to the first movie. Now, while Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone on PS1 is a tie-in to the movies, the game takes more inspiration from the original book, since the movie was still being made while the game was. After the introductory cutscene, you begin with Harry at Hogwarts, and after Dumbledore greets you, you meet Ron Weasley and then save Hedwig from Draco Malfoy. This part is pretty much the tutorial for the game where you learn the basic controls and the ever-iconic Flipendo spell, which was created specifically for the games. Afterwards, you go to the flying lesson where you control Harry Potter on a broomstick and have him fly through rings. The flying controls are extremely frustrating for me, and the fact that you have to fly through rings gives me heavy Superman 64 vibes. Once you pass the flying lesson after too many tries to count, you get to Charms class before you're late for the lesson. The fact that you're timed to see if you make it to class on time from this point onward is definitely motivation for the Hogwarts students not to be late. After learning the hover spell, you get a letter from Hagrid saying he wants to talk to you. However, you end up running into Malfoy on your way to see Hagrid, and you end up having to throw firecrackers at Malfoy that he throws at you until he and his cronies run away. You then get to meet Hagrid, and if there's anything you know about the game if you've never played it, it's how Hagrid looks with the PS1 graphics. I mean, look at him. PS1 Hagrid became a meme for a good reason. You then visit Hagrid at his hut after learning the Incendio spell from Herbology class, and Hagrid gives you the task to get some seeds for a dragon egg he's trying to hatch. This gives Harry an opportunity to do some platforming challenges and put what he's learned so far to the test, and it definitely felt like a Hogwarts adventure playing this part of the game. So after that fun level, you have to face off against Malfoy again, but this time you're chasing him on a broomstick. And then you have to play in a Quidditch match on a broomstick. After winning the match, Harry meets Professor Snape, who rudely tasks Harry to recover some missing potion ingredients for him. Now you know that the flying controls are terrible when doing a task for Snape is more fun than playing Quidditch in this game. Afterwards, you attend a potions class taught by Snape, which leads to a platforming level in the Hogwarts dungeons. Now I know we're supposed to hate Snape, but his encounters lead to some fun platforming levels. So the next class you have at this point in the game is Defense Against the Dark Arts with Professor Quirrell. And with the way Quirrell looks with the PS1 graphics, I wouldn't be surprised if he secretly had Voldemort on the back of his head. You then do another platforming level that includes Harry's first encounter with Peeves the Poltergeist, who was a character cut from the movie, and after that level, you finally leave the dungeons to go to Transfiguration class. After you learn the transformation stuff, you get to have a race with Peeves that results in Harry beating him and getting an invisibility cloak, and then have a stealth level where you avoid getting caught by Filch. What is it with games developed by Argonaut that randomly throw in a stealth level? At this point in the game, Harry finds the Mirror of Erised and then battles a troll, which is out of sequence for the story because in both the book and movie, the troll battle takes place way before Harry finds the mirror. The level with the troll is interesting though. It feels exactly like a chase level from Crash Bandicoot. The game can't be too fun though, cause Harry has another Quidditch match before he accompanies Hagrid to Diagon Alley in order to help him pick up potion ingredients in order to take care of his dragon Norbert. Now if you thought the broom levels weren't fun, then you haven't made it to Diagon Alley. Now forget that this is only in this part of the game just because they didn't fit it in before Harry got to Hogwarts. My biggest problem with this part of the game is that you're doing a series of mini-games. For starters, the levels where you make a withdrawal from Gringotts and control the minecart. It took me more than one try to get past each of them, and each time I failed, I had to hear the goblin tell me how badly I did. The other minigames in Diagon Alley aren't much better. There's the one where you collect peacock feathers, and the peacock just won't stay still. There's the one where you collect eagle owl feathers, where you continuously have to use the hover charm under a time limit just to feed the owl. And finally, one where you collect purple toad warts. That's pretty much a game where you guess the location of the toad. Thankfully, after you give all this stuff to Hagrid, who was just too lazy to get all the ingredients himself, you go back to some fun parts of the game, where you encounter a mysterious figure in the Forbidden Forest who Harry thinks is Voldemort. This inspires Harry, Ron, and Hermione to try and beat Voldemort to the Philosopher's Stone. And you go through a series of rooms in order to make it to the stone. There's the room where you have to put Fluffy to sleep with music, the room where you battle the Devil's Snare, the room with the winged keys, which is thankfully the final broomstick level, the chess room, which is the only part of the game where I had to look at a walkthrough guide in order to get past, the room with another troll, and finally, the room where you have to find a potion that will get you past a black flame. After you get past all those obstacles, you encounter Professor Quirrell, who had Voldemort on the back of his head the whole time. Looks like I was right to be suspicious of his appearance after all. Believe it or not, the easiest part of the Voldemort-Quirrell fight is the part where you mash buttons in order to touch Quirrell, which causes him to die. Now, after Harry finishes murdering his teacher, he recovers in the hospital, and the game ends with Gryffindor winning the House Cup. This was a fun game to play and experience, and while the graphics and controls have aged, it's still a Hogwarts legacy in my opinion. But I'm not done talking about Harry Potter on PS1 just yet.